What is up, everyone? Welcome back to our channel. Also, welcome back to episode 3 of Helldivers 2. Having played the game now for a number of days, I do have to say difficulty levels are getting fairly high. And of course, if you're trying to level up certain items on your ship, or if you want to get certain perks or weapons or kill streaks, you definitely need to try the harder difficulties in order to get the right sort of points for them. So I guess in this video we'll just share with you guys how I navigated one medium difficulty level. It hasn't been easy, but in the same time it's one of those things that has to be done, and I'm sure the more I'll be playing this, the better I'll be getting, and I'm sure many of you share the same thing. So you know, there's no hiding behind the finger, as everyone has to learn from something. So
Live up to your name. Live up to freedom.
So I guess in a first instance, having to learn how the enemies actually respond to your gameplay, it's very critical. I did unfortunately learn this the hard way. So after having died a few times, I've learned that certain enemies have certain weak spots, which I'm sure that you guys will be able to tell once you have played for a bit. But again, just sharing my first sort of impressions and experiences with you, it definitely helps to kind of set your expectations to the right place. But it does go without saying that the game it's all community based. I have managed to play with a few randoms which have been absolutely amazing, very supportive, very caring, sharing their experiences and what they have been able to learn as well. It's been absolutely amazing. So just make sure you take advantage of this. Just make sure you do play as many games as possible and stay with as many people as possible. Simply because everyone has different ways of playing, and being able to learn from everyone will just make you a better player. But overall, also the fact that it's cross-platform and being able to play with people from all sorts of backgrounds and game machines, it also helps as well. Simply because if you do happen to have someone that plays on PC in your team, most likely they will be your MVP and the person that you want to stay around the most. But equally, everyone that does play, I think, has their own way of sharing the best of knowledge. So just make sure that you keep the same sort of community. Make sure you always communicate with people. Even if you don't have a microphone, just try to at least chat with them via the assignment points. It's just gonna make your life a lot easier, and everyone's expectations will be set in the same way. So also, I think the tip that I can share with you so far is that you can pick your battles. You can definitely pick the missions that you're deploying into, and there are some missions which are easier than others. Equally, that doesn't mean that the easier missions don't pay the same. They do pay the same, but we always have to make sure that the red dots across the map are cleared. Those are probably the main insight. You can also kind of do a fast run and just focus on the mission and then the extract, but then don't expect to get as many experience points as you get with clearing out all the military bases on the map. That's probably the thing that I would recommend. Try to spend a bit more time. Try to do the whole map and clear everything out. You might find that you'd probably die a few times and have to use all your reinforcements, but it's definitely worth it, and it's definitely adding a lot more value to your experience at the end of it. So just bear that in mind. Or even if you're going for a harder mission where you have 2 or 3 objectives on the map, try to take your time, do the objectives first, and then clear out the rest of the map. Simply because once you have the objectives done, even if you miss out on all your reinforcements, you'll still get the maximum of points for completing the initial mission. So just keep this kind of in mind when deploying. Then I guess when it comes down to weapons, I even though I had this unlocked shortly after the first few runs, I did not give the shotgun a chance, and I think for the automatons, the shotgun is absolutely amazing. It is one shot, one kill in some instances, and even for the larger cyborgs that basically come your way, it just takes a lot of the health bar quicker. So it's definitely one of the weapons that I would put in the mix alongside the machine gun and something that has a faster fire rate. So is one to keep an eye on. Equally, when you do get your streaks, try to get things that would help you to navigate the map and also hold certain objectives. So for example, orbital strikes are absolutely amazing to clear out some strongholds faster, but then also the deployable turrets, those are fantastic as well when you're, for example, trying to extract and have loads of enemies coming away, or even when you try to defend something and it's a hot area that you need your back being looked after. So I guess for now these are the main things that I could share with you. I appreciate it might be some more experienced players out there, and if anyone or any of them are watching, I would love to hear from you guys. So if you could leave your thoughts in the comment section down below, that would be much appreciated. As I said, I think the community is amazing, and I think it's a game made for us, the community, which by far had showed a lot of playmanship just by the fact that it came out on all the consoles, even though it's a game made by Sony. So they haven't necessarily kept a certain audience. I think they thought about the communities out there. They wanted to bring everyone together. So it was a very smart and clever move from them. So yeah, I think if we try to keep that, I would love to hear from anyone else that is playing the game and watching this video. So if you guys do have some tips, more than happy to hear them, as I'll probably jump in the game a lot more often and will probably apply them as well. But for anyone that has never tried the game or considering trying it, it is definitely worth considering it. I think versus any other co-op or multiplayer games, in my case at least, the price had been probably on half than some of the big high street games, but in the same time it's a lot more fun than any others, and it's also one of those games that you want to enjoy playing, you want to enjoy with others perhaps, or maybe with some friends of yours, so it's guaranteed to have this reputable image around it. So yeah, that's my view so far of the game. I would also love to be able to perhaps have a larger squad, so other than a few other friends that I'm playing with sporadically, we'll love to have a constant number of people to play with. But equally, you know, the community is there, so even if you're by yourself and trying to help someone, people will always be available to welcome you. So it's surely a notable thing, given that most of the PvP games or co-op or multiplayer games nowadays, they tend to be a bit more toxic, and it doesn't necessarily make your experience or journey the nicest. Also guys, it is one of the other things I thought it's worth mentioning. Whenever you're redeploying and you're in an area that you're trying to recover or to conquer, and if by all means there's a building that you need to blow up or simply get your presence in, the redeployment pod is a fantastic way of actually getting the building destroyed. So it did happen on a number of occasions where I redeployed straight on the building that I was trying to conquer, and that by default was just an objective completed. So I think everything that the game can offer you, it's there in front of you, and it's surely making things um, quite navigable when you're um, um, trying to find the right sort of solutions for your gameplay. Okay, so we'll be trying to get a signal on, so that's an objective completed.
Mission is progressing.
This particular mission was a lot of back and forth, but then again, I guess it's as I was mentioning earlier, it depends on the type of missions you're choosing from the get-go. There'll be missions that they will naturally be straightforward, and you just have to deploy a signal, and there'll be it. Or there'll be missions that will require you to go back and forth on a number of times. So whenever you're selecting the mission, just read the description, or perhaps maybe just have a quick search on YouTube and see what other people have to say about that particular type of mission. But it's also good for you to try all of them, because in this way at least you're molding your game style to the particular mission that you like the most. And I think in this way it's the healthiest way to progress in the game and also gain more experience. Otherwise, if you're just doing what others tend to suggest is best to do, it doesn't necessarily mean that your personal experience with the game becomes better. You're just following someone else's sort of tip. So even though my video is to give you a walkthrough, I wouldn't necessarily suggest you trying to do certain things my way. I'll probably just inform you on what you should be looking at when playing the game, so you can develop your own sort of style. I did appreciate that the people I've played with so far have been actually really good and explained some of the ins and outs of the game. So I'm definitely passing this message on and suggesting to everyone looking to play the game that having a community and just listening to the people you play against or with, you by default will be learning a lot more than you'd expect from the initial interaction. And then one of the other things which I didn't necessarily pay attention at the beginning of the game, but later down the line it was a nice surprise. So on your ship you are actually able to purchase most of the kill streaks and things that you need in game. So after each mission you get a number of points that are distributed into different sections. Now there are sections that they will be used to get ship upgrades. There are points that are distributed to get field upgrades, and there are also points that they are distributed towards equipment that you use in deploying in a mission. So just always keep an eye on that. Always try to get your inventory with the sort of equipment that you're gonna find useful. And also, if you do focus on the weekly challenge or the weekly sort of mission, try to get kill streaks that will be helping you to conquer that planet faster. So in our case this week with the automaton challenge, not all the kill streaks were, let's say, the best to use. So trying things like the turrets will probably be handy, or some orbital strikes. But again, not all of them will have the same impact when used against them. And also, guys, looking past all the other things that we've been speaking about, the more you play the game, the more you appreciate the environment, the more you appreciate the graphics. So I think looking at Helldivers 1, which me personally I haven't played, but just checking the overall outlook and view of the game, this had gone a lot further than expected, and that's probably what made the community respond so well to it, because it's one of those games that requires your full attention, and more than anything, just to respond well within the people that you're playing with. Everyone kind of sticks up for each other. Everyone will help, and I guess you can't necessarily expect anything else when you don't have the PvP mode. But equally, there will be co-op games out there that people are not necessarily as welcoming when they play with others. So, hats off to Sony for pulling this off, and especially for bringing back all these communities alive. Because nowadays it's either you are a casual player or you're a competitive player. There's no middle ground, and I think being able to have this middle ground for everyone to enjoy a game, I think it's an amazing achievement for everyone that had worked at making this game possible. But again, guys, I'm really interested to hear your thoughts. Are you considering to buy the game and give it a go? Are you just happy to watch videos around it and just keep your distance from it? Or are you already playing it and enjoying? I would love to hear either of your thoughts in the comment section down below. And also, just your general feedback of the game. I think, I don't want to sound one-sided and just sound like I'm just promoting the game. If anything, it's certainly not the case. But I personally really like how everything had been so far as gameplay. So we'd love to hear your thoughts on it, and if you're having the same experiences. And also, I guess the other question is, what sort of console you're using to play the game? Are you playing on PC, if anything? Are you playing on a console? How is the gameplay? How are you finding the controls? It did take a bit of time at first to get used to certain things, but now it kind of all falls into place in its own natural. I suppose this is the case with any game, but then I guess being quite simplistic, you don't really expect to have so many features when it comes down to the kill streaks and the stuff that you expected from the game. So having this at first, getting used to it was not necessarily a challenge, but was definitely something that I wasn't expecting. But now it's all making sense, it's all falling into place, and it kind of makes sense with how the game progresses and how your difficulty levels progress too. Because at first everything seemed fairly easy, but as you try to get the difficulty level higher, that's where also those controls will start naturally becoming a lot easier to maneuver and handle. So yeah, I would be really interested to hear your view on this. I think every time when I'm making a new video about Helldivers, the feedback is more and more positive. So I do hope this is going to continue. And of course I'm excited to see how the other difficulty levels are. I've seen people commenting that some of them are suicidal, they're super difficult, and I'm sure that they are to an extent, but this is what makes the game unique. And you can always change the difficulty level. You don't have to necessarily go on the highest threat level or the highest difficulty level. So if you want to stay to a medium or low difficulty, you can always do that, and you can always help others to progress in the game. This is what happened to me in one of the other games. A guy that was a fairly high level joined the team and gave us some few tips and tricks of how to perform certain stuff. And he was also the person that mentioned how to change the difficulty level. So you just never know who you're gonna play against, and if you are one of those people that have leveled up quite high and don't want to play the high difficulties, you can always go and help others. I genuinely think that this is what makes this game great. Okay, so we're almost there, guys. I hope you've all enjoyed the messages so far. But you know, again, really promising game, really positive. The developers seem to also update things quite often, so it's an ongoing community support, which I think makes this game pretty unique. So yeah, it's certainly exciting to be part of this community. It's certainly exciting to see the progress of it. And I'm equally as excited to see what will be next, what we should expect, what we should see from the gameplay, and also, the bigger the community is, the bigger the love we will have, and the more people we'll see on our servers. So yeah, I guess it's a full 360 that everyone is looking at. So yeah.
T-minus 1 minute, 30 seconds.
Right, so we're probably gonna just roam around until the extraction arrives. In this particular game, I didn't deploy with the turret, which I wish I did, because it would have made things a lot easier. But it hasn't been as challenging not to make it till the end. I mean, it's super well balanced, and all the action features and the deployments, and even when you play with others, it doesn't feel that there's a delay or lag in the game, which I think is pretty unique, because it shows that the guys and girls that have worked on this project had really put a lot of thoughts into the game. And it just makes your journey and your gameplay a lot more enjoyable. I did have a crash ever since I started playing the game. It was a pretty annoying one, but never since have seen anything to comment on. Which to an extent is normal. Every game does have a bug or crash. But other than that, I mean, the gameplay, it's absolutely fantastic, and this is the thing that probably everyone appreciates. A game that doesn't necessarily let you down when you want to have a good time. So yeah, I hope today's video helped everyone. Again, as I mentioned, thanks so much for watching, thanks so much for your support. If you are already playing Helldivers 2 and you're fairly experienced, we'd love to hear from you. And equally, if you haven't tried the game, or if you're just at the beginning of playing the game, I hope this video had helped you to either navigate certain areas or just make the decision and go and play it. So thanks again, guys. Wishing you all a lovely rest of your days, and looking forward to seeing you in the next video soon.